Many races that could reshape our state. Results from Election Day starting to come in.
Primary night in North Carolina. A primer for the general election come November.
We must be clear-eyed about the stakes of this election. We're at a crossroads.
Let's go win in November. Paint this state red.
From Greensboro to Raleigh and Winston-Salem to Washington, D.C., your voice determines who will represent you.
It's Super Tuesday in North Carolina. WFMY News 2 at 11 starts right now. Several big races have projected winners tonight. Others are just too close to call. Good evening, I'm Chet Silber.
And I'm Julie Luck. Our team has you covered. Our crews are camped out across the Triad with state and the state with results and reaction on all the major races.
Let's go through some of the biggest races right now. No surprises at the top of the ticket. Former President Trump is the projected winner for the Republican presidential primary. President Biden ran unopposed.
The Republican primary for governor went to Greensboro native and Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Democrat and Attorney General Josh Stein is the projected winner who will take on Robinson in November.
The packed Lieutenant Governor field remains tight tonight. Wake Forest grad Hal Weatherman holds the advantage so far on the Republican side. As for the Democrats, Rachel Hunt has the lead so far.
The most contested race of the night is still too close to call, with several lead changes throughout the night. Right now, Addison McDowell has the lead in the District 6 Republican primary.
And a well-known name is on his way to the state superintendent nomination. Former GCS Superintendent Mo Green has a giant lead on the Democratic side, while incumbent Catherine Truitt is in a tight one against fellow Republicans and currently trails Michelle Morrow.
Let's take a closer look at the presidential primary. WFMY News 2's Ben Briscoe joins us now to break down which counties showed up for which candidate.
On the Republican side, it was a sweeping victory for former President Donald Trump. He took every single county across our state, but there are areas where Nikki Haley had more support than others. She did her best down in Mecklenburg County, as you'd expect. It was a very urban area, but even at her best, she took 44.7% of the vote there. In Guilford County, she took just 28% of the vote. Now, on the Democratic side, President Joe Biden easily wins this nomination with 87.6% of the vote. It is interesting to point out that 77,000 people voted no preference instead of voting for him. The other big race that we are watching right now that's hotly contested is District 6. Only 94% of the results are in at this moment, and at this very moment, it is too close to call. Addison McDowell, the Trump endorsement, has 26.2% of the vote, compared to former Congressman Mark Walker at 24.1%. We are still waiting for a big chunk of votes to come in from Greensboro, which Mark Walker is leading in right now. Only 71% of the votes are in from Guilford County in that particular district. So we will continue to monitor this and see if more votes can come from Guilford County from Mark Walker, or if this one will be headed to a runoff.
Ben, thank you. The night obviously not over yet. We have our team scattered around the Triad covering the important District 6 race. We begin in Bermuda Run, where WFMY News 2's Itanese McMiller is at the Addison McDowell watch party.
Addison McDowell just wrapped up a speech. He says that tonight did not go exactly as planned, but he says that he will take it. It is now a two-person race. It's between him and Mark Walker. He did take time out to thank the others who were in the North Carolina the North Carolina 6th Congressional District race. He thanked Bo Hines, who had also spoke as well. He thanked Bo Hines, who had actually called him to concede to him. He thanked some of the other candidates. He says that he will continue to fight for his seat for District 6 in Congress. He brought up how he will do his best to support the Border Patrol, securing the border as well.
And I'm ready to fight for victory, and I'm ready to fight for all of you. Now, who's ready to get back to making America great again?
And he said that he is ready again to fight for his seat. It's between him and Mark Walker. He says that he is hoping that folks will come out to continue to support him like they did. And he also thanked former President Donald Trump for that endorsement. He also congratulated him on his win. So we will, of course, be continuing to keep our eyes on this race, of course, as we head to the general election.
Denise, thank you. Our next stop is in Winston-Salem to the Mark Walker Watch Party. The former congressman is trying to get his old seat back.
The WFMY News 2, Cindy Moore heard from him just about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, Chad and Julie, big night for Mark Walker as he hopes to win back his seat in the U.S. House. He served as the U.S. representative for the 6th Congressional District from 2015 to 2021. He told me when the new district maps were released, he was encouraged by many to run in this race. We're here at Grace Church where he held his election party. One of his initiatives is to secure the border. Today, he addressed the crowd about the tight race.
We're still the highest rated conservative to ever serve in the U.S. House leadership. I'm still the last member of Congress to get a balanced budget amendment to the floor. I'm still the last member to lead the effort to repeal Obamacare and defund Planned Parenthood. And we're going to keep working and getting that done until we get this thing done in the runoff in May.
He also thanked his supporters and loved ones for coming out in support tonight as he hopes to secure this seat. Live in Forsyth County, Sydney Moore, WFMY News 2.
Sydney, thank you. Our next stop along the District 6 race takes us to Lexington. Former Green Beret Christian Castelli wants another crack at Congress. He lost to Congresswoman Kathy Manning in 2022.
WFMY News 2's Nixon Norman heard from him just a little bit ago. Nixon, how's the mood there tonight in this very tight race?
That's right, guys. Votes are still pouring in for District 6 congressional seat. And while results have been neck and neck throughout the night, Christian Castelli currently sits in 3rd place. Castelli tells me the friends and family that showed up to support him tonight have been there since the beginning, volunteering at the polls every day since early voting started 17 days ago. From economics to education, Castelli has a lot of issues he's looking to tackle. Securing the border and harsher punishment for criminals are 2 other issues. He goes into detail about how these issues impact folks here in the Triad.
We've got great infrastructure here in the state of North Carolina, which leads us to be a transportation and infrastructure hub. We have distribution warehouses all over the place. But, you know, the criminals also take advantage of that highway system. And so we are the 9th highest rated human trafficking state in the nation, in particular in this congressional district. And so that's something that we really have to address.
Castelli says even if he doesn't win tonight, he will still support his fellow candidates. And that's because he believes him and his team did everything they could do to win the race, saying that no one else put in more work, again, than his team. Live in Lexington, Nixon Norman, WFMY News 2.
Nixon, thank you. We now go to High Point, where former Mayor Jay Wagner has watched the results trickle in tonight. The High Point native just left city government to make the leap to Congress.
WFMY News 2's Hunter Funk was there as he watched the numbers come in.
Yeah, tight race is what we keep saying, and tight race indeed. Jay Wagner still remaining hopeful, though, as his friends and family really gathered to support him. And support is really what inspired him in this race. Wagner says his work in the city of High Point inspired him to run for the congressional seat. He has a heart for the towns that are in the District 6 location, as they're the old industrial towns that have lost a lot of jobs over the years. He also wants to reinvent these towns following his great success in High Point.
I just love this place so much. It's my home, not just High Point, but Piedmont, North Carolina. And I want to go. I just have such a heart for what has happened to this area of the state, and I just want to go for them. I want to be their servant in Washington.
Wagner again staying very optimistic. He said, you know, there is still victory even if you don't achieve those goals. Live in High Point, Hunter Funk, WFMY News 2.
Hunter, thank you. None of these candidates for District 6 has enough votes to claim victory. We're in potential runoff territory here. So let's go to WFMY News 2's Megan Maleras, who explains this process.
Yeah, it's called the 30% rule, and it determines whether a race can call a projected winner or call a second primary. Under state law, the top candidate who receives more than 30% of the vote in a primary wins that party's nomination and moves on to the general election. If that doesn't happen, the candidate who receives the second highest vote total can demand a second primary May 14th. District 6, as we've been saying, and the lieutenant governor's Republican race do not have that 30%. Current Forsyth County DA Jim O'Neill and former state senator Deanna Ballard are vying for a very tight second place, and 0.5% difference could mean a recount for who gets to go to that second primary.
Megan, thank you so much. Now to the governor's race. WFMY News 2's Hannah Jeffries joins us live now at Mark Robinson's watch party that wrapped up at the Corey Convention Center.
That's right, guys. The watch party just wrapped up, and it seems that Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson is going to get that win that he anticipated. CBS News and AP News all reporting that he is the winner for the Republican nomination for North Carolina governor. Now, he will most likely face off against Attorney General Josh Stein come November 5th in the general election. With sweat pouring down his face and his wife standing by his side, he announced his victory at a watch party at the Corey Center in Greensboro. Robinson said tonight's results were a cultivation of a lot of hard work and commitment by his team. Robinson credited his mother for this win.
I would not be standing here right now if it was not for her. In fact, I am standing on her shoulders right this moment. I stand on the shoulders of my mother and all of those who came before me, who laid the groundwork that made it possible for me to stand here as the first black lieutenant governor and possibly the first black governor of North Carolina.
Robinson said his campaign for governor will focus on the economy and education. During his speech, he also talked about his Democratic opponent, referring to AG Josh Stein. He insinuated that Stein hadn't been through the struggle, and for that, Robinson is the better pick. Reporting in Greensboro tonight, I'm Hannah Jeffries, WFMY News 2.
Anna, thank you. State Treasurer Dale Folwell fell short in his bid for governor. The Republican watch results come in from his home in Winston-Salem. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake talked to him following his loss.
It was a hard-fought battle for North Carolina State Treasurer Dale Folwell. Though he lost the race for governor, he says he's going to finish this year out strong as treasurer, fighting for North Carolinians, trying to be the best treasurer in history. The Winston-Salem native has been treasurer since 2017. Folwell says the presumptive frontrunner in this governor race has got a lot of work to do to fill out his job application. He hopes the Republican Party can be taken back to where it was 50 years ago.
The voters are exhausted. The majority of people in this state do not have a name on the back of their jersey because they don't want to be affiliated with either political party. So I think it's time for people in government to govern, which is a verb, for conservatives to conserve, which is a verb, and for liberals to liberate, to set economically free, which is also a verb. Only by doing that are we going to be able to come together as a society and address the important concerns that we have.
Dale Folwell is finishing the night out with his family. He says without them, without his supporters, he wouldn't have gotten all of the votes that he did in this race, and he's thankful for that. In Winston-Salem, Amber Lake, WFMY News 2.
Now we flip to the Democratic side of the governor's race. Attorney General Josh Stein is the projected winner. Right now, he has 69% of the vote.
Let's head out to Raleigh for the Stein Watch Party. WFMY News 2's Kevin Kennedy is there as excitement builds toward November.
Yeah, good evening from Raleigh, where the Democratic celebration party is pretty much wrapped up. But boy, what a party it was tonight, especially for Attorney General Josh Stein. He was expected to win in convincing fashion, and boy, he did not disappoint. The Attorney General took the stage about 2 hours ago. He was very humble, describing himself as a husband, a father, a North Carolinian. He introduced himself as the Attorney General and then gladly accepted the Democratic nomination for governor. He thanked Governor Roy Cooper, who introduced him, and said he wanted to kind of continue that legacy. He described tonight as a first step in a two-step process. The next step would obviously be winning come November against Mark Robinson. He said our state is at a crossroads and there is a choice, him or Mark Robinson. He believes that abortion issues, women's rights will be a main topic come November. Here's more on what Josh Stein said if he was elected the next governor of North Carolina.
My vision for North Carolina is forward-looking and inclusive. It would harness the talents of all of our people so that we can build a North Carolina that is safer and stronger, rooted in our shared values of freedom and opportunity for every person. I'm running for governor because I love North Carolina, and I believe in its promise that if you work hard, where you come from should never limit how far you can go. That our children and grandchildren should enjoy a better and brighter future than we've had. That every North Carolinian has a fair shot at prosperity, getting a good paying job or starting a small business anywhere in this state, including small town North Carolina.
Josh Stein said the next 8 months are critical when it comes to the Democratic Party. He said he hopes to rally the entire party and turn what many believe is a purple state bright blue come November. We're live in Raleigh. I'm Kevin Kennedy, WFMY News 2.
Kevin, thank you. Let's take a look at some of the other big races tonight. Longtime Republican Congresswoman Virginia Foxx is on her way to the general. She's held her seat in District 5 for almost 20 years. But this year, most of Greensboro is now included in that district thanks to redistricting. She'll run against Democrat and Wilkes County native Chuck Hubbard.
Fox's former chief of staff and current Congressman Richard Hudson is also headed to November. He'll face Nigel Bristow in the general election. The Republican primary for District 10 remains extremely tight. Pat Harrigan is leading right now at 41% of the vote.
In the lieutenant governor's race, State Senator Rachel Hunt holds a large lead on the Democratic side. Hal Weatherman leads with 20% of the vote on the Republican side. Forsyth County DA Jim O'Neill is coming in second. Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page is a distant fifth.
Now to the Attorney General's race. Charlotte Congressman Jeff Jackson is the projected winner for the Democrats. He'll run against Davidson County Congressman and Republican Dan Bishop in November. Go ahead, Chad.
Yeah, and former Guilford County School Superintendent Mo Green will be the Democratic nominee for state superintendent. Republican incumbent Catherine Truitt is in a tight race to keep her seat. Longtime Guilford County lawmaker John Hardister trails in the race for labor commissioner.
Now at the local level, Winston-Salem Mayor Alan Joines appears to be on his way to re-election. He is the longest-serving mayor in the city's history. He holds a giant lead over his two challengers. We caught up with him earlier tonight. He says he's thankful for the continued support.
Winston-Salem is a very special place. We've worked hard to make it special and to address concerns like poverty and homelessness and creating jobs and things of that nature.
Joines first took office in 2001.
North Carolina joined 14 other states in voting on Super Tuesday, where the former president had a huge night. This map you're about to see shows all of the states that went to the polls today. Tonight's races follow the trend of this early primary season. Former President Trump swept nearly all 15 states as he inches closer to the Republican nomination. He spoke about his sweeping wins tonight.
Every single group was doing better than ever before, and it was a beautiful thing. Our country was coming together.
And despite his huge victories tonight, Trump does not have enough delegates to reach the nomination just yet. Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley picked up Vermont tonight, just her second win of the primary season.
We have results from every single race around the Triad and beyond on our website right now. Just look for this story on WFMYnews2.com.